I have been receiving a lot of questions related to Rituximab, and I understand that all of you might have a lot of doubts that you want to clarify. So I thought, let me go ahead and create one video just talking about Rituximab and clarifying all your doubts. So I welcome you back to my channel, Exploring MS. I am Nilima, and this channel is all about exploring MS, as the name goes. So, the questions that I've been getting on Rituximab mainly, are from the ones who might be about to go through the procedure of Rituximab, right? The question that I got was, is it a chemo? So let me give you my experience, okay? I heard this term chemo when I was about to take Rituximab in one of the hospitals. So the nurses there, they were saying there's a chemo patient. So I was confused, why are they referring me as a chemo patient? I just put that aside and I thought, might be it was nothing. And then it was again in the second dose in a second hospital, again, they were referring to me as a chemo patient. So that is when I realized that yes, Rituximab is also considered as a chemotherapy. Now, we have this thing in our mind that if it is chemo, we associate it with cancer patients, right? So chemo is always associated with cancer, and then you might be questioning, I don't have cancer, so why are they referring me as a chemo patient? That's what I thought too. But I would like to clarify that chemo is not just given to the cancer patient. Even Rituximab is considered as a chemotherapy, and yes, it is considered as chemo, but there's nothing to fear about it. It's just a process. It's just a procedure that we go through, right? It's just an infusion rather. So there's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing to be worried about. People, I feel, has just what to say, they've just spread that fear when it comes to chemotherapy because they link it with cancer. But it's nothing as such. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be scared or afraid, right? It's just the normal process. So yes, Rituximab infusion at times, or not at times, it is considered as a chemotherapy, and it's very normal. There's nothing to be scared about. Now, the other question that I recently received, or the person was asking, is how many days did you go through it? Now, yes, it happens. It might happen during the cancer treatment that they go through days or multiple sessions of chemotherapy. But when it comes to Rituximab, or when it comes to MS, you don't have to go through multiple days of Rituximab infusion, right? So initially, when I had to go through Rituximab infusion, my doctor had mentioned 1000 mg, and then to be repeated after 2 weeks. So the first dose I received was for 1000 mg, and maybe after 2 weeks, so I don't even remember well, because it was long time back in 2018, right? So maybe after 2 weeks or 4 weeks I took another dose, right? And after that, I have been taking it at the interval of 6 months, and eventually now, because my my condition is stable, I take it once in 10 to 12 months. So yes, you take it, and this entire process time that it takes, it could vary from 6 to 12 hours. Now, ideally the Rituximab duration that it takes for the process to be completed is 6 hours for some. For me, when the drip goes a little faster, my heart, it starts burning, so I usually tell the nurse to slow the drip flow. Okay, so I usually take about 10 hours to sometimes even 12 hours, because the drip goes very slowly. But for some, if they are normal, if they don't have any issues while or during the infusion, the timing might be as less as 6 to 8 hours. So yes, the minimum time that it should take is 6 hours, but yeah, it might go up to 10, 12 depending on how your body reacts to it. Okay, so it is not like, you know, you're taking it every day. Firstly, that's what you need to understand. It's a day procedure, you know, and you don't even have to be hospitalized for it. Because I remember the first time I took Rituximab, I was hospitalized in PSRI, you know, because I think it lasted for a very long time. I was placed in the ICU and I was isolated, obviously. So, you know, I remember, I don't, I think the infusion started around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock in the ICU, and when they shifted me to the ward, it was around 2 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, you can calculate the time that it took. And the next day, when I thought that I can claim the insurance, because I was hospitalized, right, the insurance company, they rejected my claim, saying that this is not a process that, you know, wherein you are supposed to be hospitalized. So it's a day procedure, so they denied my, you know, insurance claim. So that is one thing. So, you know, if you are thinking that okay, you'll get hospitalized for Rituximab, just be very careful. I'm saying it happened to me, it might not happen to you again, right? But then yes, my insurance company had declined my claim at that point in time. So after that, I always do it as a day procedure, and any which ways nowadays I do it through AIMS. So, you know, that's cheaper, right? You just have to pay the bed fee, which I guess it just costs like 60 rupees, and you have to take your own injection. And somebody had also asked what is the cost of Rituximab. Now it varies, right? Because multiple brands you know, provide this particular injection. So, you know, if the MRP might be 45,000, through wholesale you might get it as cheap as 9,500. The last time I bought Rituximab 500 mg, it costed me 9,500. 9,500 INR. Okay, now wherein, you know, when I was in Goa, I have paid 14,000, I guess, no, 20,000 in Goa is what I've paid for the same injection. And when I was back in NCR, Delhi NCR, here from Noida, I have paid 14,000 also. So last time I paid 9,500. You know, so again it varies, right? So you have to be you know, very careful in maybe checking the actual rate. 9,500 Rituximab 500 mg, I had bought this from those medical shops which are just outside AIMS, you know, the opposite road, right? There are a lot of medical shops, you know, that you see outside AIMS. That is where I had bought this from, and I had paid 9,500. So, you know, as I said, it might go as cheap as what I paid, or it might go even cheaper than that, depending on the brand. I usually take it from Dr. Reddy's, which is again a good brand, right? So that's what you can do. And if you are, you know, being treated in AIMS, all you have to do is take this injection and go, right? And you just have to pay the 60 rupees of bed fee. Rest, the pre-medication is covered. So, you know, when they give you Rituximab, it is not just the injection that they infuse, right? There are certain procedures. They give you pre-medications also. So, you know, they'll give you some paracetamol, like, you know, the injection, they give you steroid, and only after the pre-medication is over, they will then start with the actual Rituximab infusion. So that's what it is, right? And yeah, so that was the cost. And I told you that yes, it is called as chemotherapy. Even in AIMS, nurses, you know, refer it as a chemo patient, so you don't have to be scared. It's normal, you know. So I feel, you know, at times the fear is just within us, or it's in our mind. You know, it's just like, okay, you know, you hear people saying something and you feel scared. Otherwise, it's all pretty normal. There's nothing to be scared about. So that's the second question that I, you know, usually get about the cost. So the third question I usually get is, what are the side effects? Now, as I said earlier, MS is a very personal disease. So, you know, the side effects of certain medicines could also be from, you know, person to person, right? With rituximab, if you ask me, initially when I was taking 1000 mg dose, I used to get a lot of hair fall. Besides that, I haven't come across any other side effect. But now, since the dose has also decreased, and I've only been taking 500 mg, that too like once in almost a year, it hair fall is there, but it's not that much like the way it used to be earlier, right? So that's there, and you see I have hair, right? So I mean, I don't experience that much of a hair fall. And some people say that did you feel nausea and all. The answer is no, I did not. Maybe somebody else did. I really don't know about that, but I'm just sharing my experience. I have not come across anything serious as such. In fact, rituximab has worked for me, right? And that's what it is. And you also ask how long do you have to take. Now, I am not the right person to answer that. You have to check with your doctors. I have been taking it since 2018, and till now, after taking rituximab, I have not had any relapses. So my condition is stable at the moment. So till the time my doctor gives me, or this particular dose, I will take it, right? Because I think I want to be stable, and that's what matters. So that's what I wanted to share, right? And if you have any other doubts, you can always drop in the message and I'll try to answer. But I guess these were more or less the questions that might arise. And just the general question, or the confusion rather, for people who has not even started with rituximab could be like they don't want to start with it. I mean, I really don't know the reason why. Maybe you are just scared that what will happen to you if you start. I understand that you are reluctant, but that's your call, right? If you feel that you're not comfortable going ahead with the infusion, I totally understand. That's your call. All I can say is that it has helped me, and if this video gives you strength or courage to go ahead and take that stand of going ahead and taking that rituximab, I would definitely encourage you to go ahead and do it, because I think it's just that little push that you need to give it to yourself. There is absolutely nothing to worry about, right? And another thing is, like, rituximab has worked for me, right? I haven't got, as I said, any more attacks after taking it. There are some people who has gone through some more attacks even after taking rituximab. So purely that denotes that it did not suit them. So again, as I said, it's very individual, right? So you have to speak to your doctor and let them know that, okay, it's not suiting you, right? And then your doctor might just change the medication. They might give you something else. So that's there, right? So just don't be confused or don't be scared. It's just a normal infusion. So when we say rituximab and chemotherapy, we have a lot of things in our mind, what might happen, or like, you're scared. Obviously, I understand. Even I was scared first time, but after multiple times, it has been that I've gone to the hospital myself alone in Goa during the time of COVID, when nobody was around. I would just drive to the hospital because it was very near, get myself infused, complete the infusion, and drive back home. And the next day, I'm absolutely fine. So that's how simple it is, actually. And whenever I have to take rituximab, I make sure that I do it on the weekend. So I usually get it done on Friday or Saturday, so that I can rest the next day, and then from Monday I am back to work. So I don't even have to take leaves, because I seriously don't feel anything. It's just like a normal infusion and nothing else. So that's what it is. So I hope this answers a lot of your questions. If not, just drop in the comments and I'll try to answer whatever it is in your mind. I hope this video helps, guys. And lastly, do not forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.
sky.